Real estate agent owes 150 grand, not doing as well as they were, but still making decent money. What should they do? All right, this is from J2K7, dealing with past due amount. I'm trying to tackle my IRS debt and get it cleared up. I owe approximately $150,000 from 2019 through 2023. I have an extension for 2024. It's been a recurring problem since 2014. I eventually worked to paying off 2014 to 2018, but still have the remaining amount of $150,000 left for 2019 through 2023. I'm in real estate, and work has definitely slowed in this interest rate environment, but I still make too much money to get any type of offer in compromise. With that being said, my biggest concern is waking up and my checking account being $0 and the IRS wiping me out. That's a legitimate concern. It does happen. Is there anything I can do to avoid that? I don't qualify for a payment plan because the amount is in excess of $50,000. What should I do to hold them off while I cut back expenses to bare minimum and really start aggressively attacking this? I'm tired of having it weighing over my head. Good news, J2K7. You can still get into an installment agreement with the IRS even if you owe more than $50,000. Okay. You just can't set it up online, and the IRS may ask for your financials. Okay. Now, we do work with a lot of real estate agents who owe back tax debt. Okay. And then after we figure that out, we usually, once we fix the problem and stop the bleeding, what we often do is, get them set up with the proper structure and everything so they don't owe as much taxes going forward. Right. But, you're obviously not at that point yet, J2K7, because you're still in the hole here with 150 grand. So good news is you can get into an installment agreement on $150,000. Okay, you can. Don't let anyone tell you can't. You just can't do it online. Right. So let's put that out there. Now it's more of a negotiation at this point, right? Below $50,000, it's a streamlined installment agreement. I've talked about this on the channel. 150 grand, okay, and knowing that you make decent money, they're going to want their money sooner rather than later. Okay, that's just the way it is. All right, but you will be able to negotiate an installment agreement with the IRS. Likely, you likely will be able to, right? Because it doesn't sound like you're loaded with a bunch of property and cash everywhere, where they would probably demand like a full payment up front, right? So it sounds to me like you will still be able to negotiate an installment agreement with the IRS. You're gonna have to maybe fill out a form, talk to people over the phone. They're gonna have to get manager approval for whatever IA you shoot for, right? So it is a process. It is a longer process, but the good news is here you will be able to now build this into your budget, right? As you're trying to dig yourself out of this hole, you will be able to build this into your budget, whatever that monthly payment is, and then take it from there. Right. But the important thing is, because this seems to be a recurring issue every year for the past 10 plus years, is, one thing I would say, if you're going to owe for 2024, you probably want to file that year, make sure that's assessed, make sure that's included in the installment agreement negotiation you do. Right. Because let's say you set up an installment agreement for 2019 through 2023, then you file 2024 and you can't pay the balance due. The IRS is going to send you a CP 523 telling you, hey, we're going to terminate your installment agreement for 2019 through 2023 because you didn't pay your 2024 balance, right? So my advice would be, if you were a client, would be to file 2024, make sure 2024 is included in the installment agreement, right? Also, make sure you're making your 2025 estimated tax payments. Okay, let's get on the good foot now in 2025. All right. Do you have the right type of entity structure set up? Right? Could you do an S corp in your state? Right? Could you get checks, your commission checks sent to like your LLC that you've elected S corp status on in your state? Right? If so, what's your reasonable comp for the S corp? Right? Those types of things can help you save money going forward. But let's take care of the bleeding now. Okay, and that starts with filing 2024 tax return, negotiating installment agreement with the IRS for 2019 through 2024 tax debt, and then starting to make proper estimated tax payments for 2025. So when you file your 2025 tax return in 2026, you don't default on your installment agreement on your 2019 through 2024 tax debt. Okay, so that is how you get on the good foot here with this sort of thing. And we're seeing a lot of real estate agents actually come to us now, they're still making some money, not like it was maybe a couple years ago. They're still making some money, but they have all this tax debt that they racked up, right, from a couple years ago, right? And we're trying to kind of navigate that. Sometimes they do qualify for an offer. It's not super common. Sometimes they qualify for some other kind of hardship-based arrangement, right? It's really case by case, really case by case. That's a great question. Thank you so much for asking, and I hope I was able to provide some guidance there and get you kind of on the right foot there. If you have any questions about tax debt, IRS tax debt, state tax debt, whatever, please leave them in the comment section below. I would be thrilled to answer them. And if you owe the IRS or your state at least $10,000 in back taxes, or you have multiple years of unfiled tax returns, you qualify for a free consultation with us here at Choice Tax Relief. You can schedule that by calling us at 866-8000-TAX. That's 866-8000-829. Or by going to choicetaxrelief.com, filling out the form on the website, and we will reach out to you. I have some other videos here on the left-hand side of the screen about IRS installment agreements for your education and enjoyment. Thank you so much for watching, everybody, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.